Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time, once again, for all of you to shut up and sit down. Tonight, you should all count yourselves very lucky, because tonight, Max Danger will be main eventing the show in a Champions vs. Champions match with our new WIW television champion, JW Cashman. But also tonight, as you probably guessed, we got some more Royal Rumble qualification matches for both the men and women's Rumble matches. And those matches are... Oh, hold on a minute, Blake. Before you put everybody to sleep, I want to talk about the Rumble. Specifically, what number are David and Steve coming into the Rumble? Because, as I recall, we won at Danger Zone, which granted us not only no title defense at sudden death, but also some spots in the Royal Rumble. Unfortunately, yes, I found that out the hard way. I told Max not to sign that contract without me looking at it first. But no matter. As you may have noticed, only one of you got a world title shot, which means only one of you have won a Royal Rumble spot. But I just can't decide who to pick. How will I ever choose and decide which one of you is less of a dick and deserves a spot in the Rumble? Oh, I can't think. Hold on. Bingo! I got it. Tonight, David and Steve will go one-on-one for a spot in the Royal Rumble match. I am a genius. You're a damn idiot if you think we can't see through your bullshit. You wanted this to happen, so don't think you're clever, because I will wipe that smile off your face. As I told you last week, we are Wolfpac for life. And although Sam isn't here to stop you, like he seemed to always be able to do because you were his little bitch, you can't make us face off 100 times, because we will still be strong, and together we will take over the WIW as we already have done once. Swear one more time. Go on, do it, and see if you still have a job. You're lucky you've got one now. Don't push it. This match is happening, and it better be match of the night, because if it's not, then the match will be restarted over and over again until they get it right. Also tonight, there will be a #1 contenders match for the tag titles. Oh what? Just because you ain't defending at sudden death doesn't mean you ain't under a contract to say to defend them. But I won't worry about that yet, mate, because you have got bigger problems to be dealing with. Thanks, Blake, for that perfect introduction. Because I am not only a problem, I am the biggest problem you will ever have in your entire life. You think you're ready for me because you got lucky at Danger Zone? Did you really think I was trying? I wanted to face one of you at sudden death. I didn't care which one. That way, I could send a message to anyone watching that it does not matter how powerful or how important you think you are nothing in comparison to Max Danger. Oh, what? Oh, sorry, what was that? I fell asleep after you started making up the whole, I let you win crap. The truth is, Max, I beat you. Just like I did one-on-one before the Blood Brother beatdown. Danger Zone proved that I am years ahead of you in every single way. And at sudden death, you will find out the hard way that you are no match for me or for the Wolfpac. We will rise again. And I'm taking the title back from you. And that will be the first step of our era being reborn. If the Wolfpac era was truly as dominant as you claim, then why do you have to constantly remind everyone that it existed? I know, because you weren't there. The Wolfpac were in power before you came along. I helped bring them to their knees, and that's when you stole yourself a contract that you didn't earn. You are a fraud who is trying to make himself seem like an important part of the Wolfpac and its history, but really, you're just a filler for when the king inevitably returns. You think I'm just a filler? A fraud? Well, if I am, then what does that say about you, who got pinned by me? Face it, you're saying meaningless points to make yourself feel better about the fact that your title is coming back to the Wolfpac. And will I win the title back? Yes, I will win this title back. And when I do, I dare you to come and take it from me, because I will be waiting for you. And so begins the revival of the Wolfpac era. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs, and welcome to another episode of Friday Fight Night. We are just 6 total shows away from the sudden death pay-per-view, where, of course, the first ever Royal Rumble match will determine who will be going to the main event of Insomnia, a night of opportunity, and this man right here is getting an opportunity to be in the Rumble. Could you imagine the chaos if Big Willie finds his way into the Rumble? He'll be going up against 29 other men in the Rumble, but this dude has had must have over 29 retains of the television championship. And of course, he's also scheduled to compete at the pay-per-view. He's going up against JW Cashman in his rematch clause for the television championship. So things are looking good for him. Could you imagine that? What an ideal night that could be for him. If he wins here tonight, not only does he get a Royal Rumble spot, but he's also going to be competing for the television championship. So if all goes well on Sunday for him, next Sunday, he could be television champion and the Royal Rumble winner. So opportunity there for him, but another opportunity for this man, Ryan Austin, the super athlete, who is backed down from Big Willie in the past, but tonight has to step up and face his demons for one thing, and that is a spot in the Royal Rumble match. The super athlete, of course, last week saw his brother Harry Austin get a chance to qualify and successfully do so as the Death Ninjas qualified for the Royal Rumble. And I'm sure Ryan Austin will not want to be the Austin that doesn't make it to the Royal Rumble match. And so the super athlete looking to get back to the top. Remember, of course, was a part of the first ever World Heavyweight Championship match all the way back at Resurrection. And, of course, couldn't beat Original Brad on that day. And from there, he just fell further and further down the ranks to the point where he was literally running away from Big Willie. But look at this. Running towards Big Willie this time. Not backing down from him this time. He knows what the stakes are. The stakes are even higher than the last time they faced. Last time they faced, though, of course, was a very important match for Big Willie. Because, of course, that was Big Willie's entry into the fatal four-way match. Ryan skipped out on becoming the TV champion for a chance to win the championship, to win the Money in the Bank qualifiers at, I believe it was Uprising. I think it is Uprising. Looking out, a stumble there. And Big Willie, straight away, going to get to work on Ryan Austin. No surprise. And, of course, Big Willie can't afford to gas himself out too much in an attempt to qualify for the Royal Rumble. He knows that JW Cashman will always be watching over him, and of course, JW Cashman will be desperate to have his first successful title retain against Big Willie and take him out the picture for good. But can you imagine? Right now, I can't imagine Big Willie not being television champion, or at least competing for the television championship at Insomnia, because he has been champion for over 70 episodes. And I believe it was 73 I worked it out as. I might be wrong on that number, but I believe it was 73 episodes in total as WIW champion before eventually losing it. That is a long, long time. And of course, it would have been longer if these episodes followed the Universe Mode timetable. But for Big Willie, he is a monstrous man, and he has been competing for that TV title, and he's been a dominant champion. One of the most dominant champions I think we've ever had. Longest reigning champion by a long stretch. And of course, as a result, the pressure has always been on him to do the big stuff and do the impossible. And that's to retain every week. But JW Cashman, I'm sure, won't have similar intentions. He doesn't strike me as a man who will be doing open challenges every week. To be honest, I can picture him being one of those champions who hardly ever retains, but he can't avoid Big Willie. And right now, Ryan can't avoid Big Willie, who's getting absolutely tossed around like a ragdoll. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we should have seen this coming. Cashman. Cashman's out here. Cashman staring down the former champion. And Big Willie daring him to get back in the ring, telling him to get in the ring. Oh, look at this, Ryan. Ryan from behind, trying to take advantage of the big man. Ryan trying to take advantage. Has him up on the shoulders. Oh, look at the strength there from Ryan to spin him around. And JW Cashman turns the tide in this match back in Ryan's favour. And there was Big Willie's reminder to not forget about the important prize, and that being the TV championship. Yes, the Rumble can be a big prize, but if you don't win it, then what does it matter? You've got 29 other people to compete against, and JW Cashman reminding him to stay alert, because Cashman's always lurking. I thought Cashman might have gone in there, just disqualified Cashman, because, you know, that would have worked as well. At least he would have lost the Rumble spot. This just a distraction, but it's definitely been a distraction that's cost Willie the control in the match. Ryan now in complete control. And Big Willie needs to find an answer back. Gets him back up on the shoulders, and doesn't matter what Ryan does anymore. Big Willie is angry, and that's not a person that you want to face when you're angry. Oh dear. Oh no! Oh! For nearly anywhere between 300-400 pounds, I believe he is. I think he's somewhere in between 300 and 400. Just dropped a senton from the middle rope onto Ryan. And I'm sure that would have been enough there. But Big Willie wanting to make sure. Looking for that running knee lift. He's going side to side right now. Oh! And he's busted him open with the knee lift. Massive running knee. Oh, but look at this, Ryan. Ryan not giving up despite bleeding. Playing to the crowd. That might be a mistake. And he catches him with a Hurricane Rana. And now Big Willie looking to put Ryan away, as he has done many times in the past. Oh, look at that. Was looking for the powerbomb, but Ryan sidesteps. Ryan trying to advance forward as well, but again, Big Willie just he's going to use his overbearing strength to do that. And now look at this. Big Willie taking full advantage of the conditions tonight. And now Ryan. What's Ryan thinking here? What's he going to do to put this one away? Stunner! Ryan with the stunner! And the distraction might not have worked to 100% effect, but it did enough! And Ryan has just knocked off JW Cash... No, Big Willie is what I meant to say. Ryan has just beat Big Willie for the first time ever. And I thought he almost had him there with the running knee lift, but clearly the distraction was enough to give Ryan the momentum. And the stunner gives Ryan Austin the win over the former television champion, Big Willie. And Ryan Austin joins his brother. Ryan Austin is going to the Rumble. With a super athlete, he had to fight hard for it. But thanks to the distraction from JW Cashman, Big Willie is going nowhere in terms of the Rumble. Well, the question is for Big Willie, though, will he be able to get his revenge and recapture his television championship at the Sudden Death pay-per-view? Or will JW Cashman continue to get the better of him? We'll have to find out nearer to the time. It is time to move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, some more qualifying matches, this time for Women's Battle Royal, which of course the winner will be granted a title opportunity at Insomnia of a championship of their choosing. And of course, as you may have guessed by now, Laura Stables will not be defending the championship at the Sudden Death pay-per-view. She will be sitting out this pay-per-view. However, I'm sure she'll be keeping a very close eye on this matchup coming up, because we're going to have some serious contenders in this Battle Royal to determine a women's champion. Of course, Sandra Piper will still be defending, trying to recapture the title in a rematch clause for the Mayhem Women's Championship. But since there is no #1 contender as of yet for Laura Stables' title, she will be sitting out. First one down to the ring, Valentine, who's been desperately trying to force her way into the spotlight. And she's been in more matches than anyone else. She's definitely a workhorse, and she's trying her best to stay up top and try and get herself relevant. And by winning this Battle Royal, that could be the way to do it, but she's up against someone who knows what it takes to beat the champs. It is Tashley. If only she could beat Laura Stables when it mattered, but she beat her every other time in the build-up. She really has stepped up to the task. Unfortunately for Tashley, she just hasn't been able to finish the job off. But tonight, she gets another shot at it as she goes up against Valentine. So far, here is what we know for the Women's Battle Royal. We know Elliot Rogers will be there if she's healthy. Catherine Albright also if she's healthy. Tiffany Abbott will be there, and so will Leia Rose. And of course, the only one we know so far confirmed for the Mayhem brand, for the Fight Night brand, is Isabella Vega, who qualified last week in her match against Jade Cottrell, who returned back to in-ring action. And now the second Fight Night competitor will be found out here tonight as Valentine takes on Tashley. And these two have both had their fair share of run-ins with the champions. Oh, look at that from Valentine. Valentine yet to earn herself an actual championship opportunity. Tashley has had a chance before. Look at this. Goes straight back to it, sees the effectiveness of that move, and Valentine's off to a flying start. And Valentine, her biggest problem has been inconsistency. She just hasn't been able to stay on top, stay in control for long enough, and win her matches and stay in control. And of course, earlier on tonight, we already saw Ryan Austin qualified for the Royal Rumble, earning himself the 8th spot for Fight Night in the Royal Rumble. Tonight, the 9th spot will be crowned, as we found out earlier, as David and Steve will be going one-on-one with each other for the second week in a row. We have a Wolfpac versus Wolfpac match for a big prize. Again, the general manager really trying to break down and burn down the bridges and relations of the Wolfpac, trying to make life a living hell for them if he can help it. So, of course, now the numbers are really cracking on. Both brands have 9 entries. Mason Foster, of course, would make it 10 for the Mayhem brand if he can make it there. Then, of course, we have the 6th mystery entrance. So, if we count Foster as 10, we have 19. We have about 25 superstars picked, which works out about right. So, we have 5 more superstars left to be chosen. And that is just a crazy thought. We really are at the business end now, and we're getting closer and closer to the Royal Rumble match. It's going to be huge. And now look at Tashley trying to show herself. Oh, it's going for a chokeslam there, but Valentine with the counter. And Valentine looked impressive as of late. She really struggled to find her feet early on, but she's found a couple of victories now. And she's starting to feel, it a bit better. But the problem is that Tashley is a tough competitor to beat. It took a lot to keep her down in the championship match against Laura Stables. But she's beaten Laura Stables on numerous occasions. Both personas of her as well. Although we haven't seen much of the dark persona of Laura Stables as of yet. That's an interesting thing to think about. When she'll emerge, or if she'll emerge again. She seems to have it under control for now, but if that dark side of Laura Stables comes out again, it could be chaos for the rest of the women's division. Big kick out there by Valentine. For Tashley, the glowing star of the women's division. Intent on taking the title by any means necessary. And by winning the Battle Royal, that will give her a chance to do just that. That's Insomnia. Huge Irish whip there. Huge Hurricane Rana whip, should I say. So, of course, we know so far this match will crown the 6th entry confirmed into the match. Of course, Elliot Rogers is still a question of whether or not she'll be able to compete. I wonder what would happen if she can't compete. Who would be stepping in her place? We'd have to find out nearer to the time. Maybe we could be having some special guests in the women's Rumble as well. Or the women's miniature Rumble, as it would be. Unfortunately, we don't have time for the 2 Royal Rumbles. And, of course, even if we wanted to, we can't for obvious reasons. So, unfortunately, the women will have to settle for a Battle Royal. But that doesn't mean it's going to be any less of a spectacle. Some of the best women's wrestlers in women's wrestling competing for a spot at Insomnia. And now Vicky Valentine out of the Exploder Suplex, ready to wrap this one up here with a running knee. Can she connect on Tashley? Yes, she can. Running knee across the jaw. This could be it for Valentine. This could be it, her moment. Her chance to push to her title. And no, she took time. She wasted it. She got caught taunting, and Tashley was able to crawl back to her feet and almost unfazed by the knee, or went for another Exploder Suplex. Tashley, though, hooks the leg, trying to get away, but Vicky Valentine counters it into a bridge of her own. Oh, she almost got that one, and bridged through by Tashley, and she kicks out with ease in the 2nd attempt. And Tashley and Vicky Valentine were a little back and forth there, both of them very close to actually losing this match on the roll-up, but Tashley just trying to get out of there. She's sensing the pressure. However, she did counter that 2nd Exploder Suplex. That's going to give her momentum. And now look at this. Oh, beautiful little twist of the arm here. And look at Vicky Valentine. Oh, look at that. Very nice technique. She's a fantastic wrestler, Vicky Valentine. Again, it's just that inconsistency, that inability to wrap up matches that has cost her in the past. But, of course, she is just a few matches away from getting herself a spot in the Women's Battle Royal, which is going to be a huge matchup. And now lining up again for another knee. One wasn't enough. She wants to make sure she's put Tashley away for good. No, she sidesteps. Tashley sidesteps. And now Tashley off the sidestep there. Goes into the cover, just hoping to make it to the Rumble. And it's a 2. And now what's Tashley thinking here? She's looking to wrap it up. She's left herself a bit of a run-up here. Trying to throw Tashley off guard before the leg drop comes in. Beautiful sequence there by Tashley. Has she done enough to put away Vicky Valentine? No, she hasn't. 2 count by Tashley. And these women showing why they truly are the best that there is to offer. And of course, they need to be very concerned because we've got more women coming in. The applications for the women's division flying in at a very high rate, has to be said. I was honestly surprised that, obviously there's a lot less women entries than there are men, but I'm very surprised with the response of the women's division. We are definitely going to be having a women's tournament, that much I can confirm, and it's going to be quite a good one as well. It just may be a smaller one than the men's, but I'm sure that won't stop the women in that match from putting on one hell of a tournament. And now look at Vicky Valentine rolling through. Oh, what a beautiful rolling senton there. Remember, any ladies watching here, lady wrestlers, or even if some, some men wrestlers who want to enter a woman for them, be sure to get your submissions in before sudden death. Of course, that is the 100th episode of WYW, and that is when the applications close. So, of course, in real time, that is next Sunday. For these, for the Universe Mode time, that is another 3 weeks. But now look at Tashley with a full head of steam. What a drop kick. Tashley pulling out all the tricks that she has available. Not exactly one of the most popular superstars from the fans, but she's definitely up there with one of the most skilled. It amazes me how she didn't capture the championship the first time, especially after that's her only defeat. That was her only defeat to Laura Stables. And now once again, Tashley trying to line up, trying to throw off Vicky Valentine here with the huge run-up. Oh, she misses though. And that might give Valentine a chance to counter. She couldn't though. Leg drop again. Leg drop again. And into the cover, Tashley is going to the Women's Battle Royal. Huge, huge win for Tashley, and that's exactly what I was talking about from Vicky Valentine. Another beautiful match from her. She fought valiantly, but again, she just couldn't get the result, and it's that inconsistency that once again is going to get her out of a chance of another Women's Championship. And for Vicky Valentine, she needs to start going back to the drawing board again. She needs to come up with something new, something that's going to give her the edge in these matchups. But the glowing star of the women's division, Tashley, has secured herself a spot in the Battle Royal. She will join Isabella Vega, representing the Fight Night brand. But the question is, will she be able to do it? If she wins, I know 100% if she wins, she is going for the Fight Night Women's Champion, Laura Stables. She wants her revenge. She wants that Fight Night Women's Championship. Question is, though, will she be able to capture it at sudden death? We'll have to find out very soon. But it is time to move on down the rest of the card. Next up tonight, a tag team #1 contenders match for the Fight Night Tag Team Championship. The general manager making it clear earlier tonight that the Wolfpac are not allowed to defend at sudden death, which is why tonight they will be qualifying for the Royal Rumble against each other. But they will have to defend, says the general manager, since they did not defend at Danger Zone. Otherwise, of course, they'd be forced to relinquish. The first team down to the ring is a team who has had plenty of business and run-ins with the Wolfpac. It is Loki and Noah, the Vikings of Destiny. They are desperate to get back to winning ways, desperate to get back into this tag team division. And of course, recently returning after spending some time back at home in Denmark, trying to get themselves, back in tune, back in sequence, get ready to come back to WIW and do that by storm. And that's exactly what they're here to do. They're in competition tonight. And of course, since they haven't had a crack at the championship for a while, they are next up. Of course, recently we've seen, teams such as the Blood Brothers have 2 opportunities. We've also seen Oxley and James have a go. We've seen Chaos Twins have a go as well several times. And now it's time for some new teams. And how about this? The most unique tag team in all of WIW are gonna have a shot at the WIW Fight Night Tag Team Championship. Harry Austin and Def Lordicus, the Death Ninjas, following their win last week against the Blood Brothers, now have not only got themselves a Rumble spot, but they also have now got a shot at the Fight Night Tag Team titles if they can win here tonight. Well, the Death Ninjas, they've been an impressive tag team since switching to the Fight Night brand, but as we've seen in the past, they tend to make mistakes. They tend to not cope well under matches of extreme pressure. However, last week, when the pressure was on, they won themselves Royal Rumble spots. And now tonight, if they can somehow find a way to topple the beasts from the Vikings of Destiny, then they will get themselves a shot next week for the first time ever for a tag team title. Of course, both these teams, very different styles of wrestling, of course. Loki and Noah, very much powerhouse team, but they're a very fluent team. They work together very well, and you can tell that they were destined to battle together. The Vikings' spirit truly with them. However, the Death Ninjas, of course, such a unique tag team and a beautiful blend, of course, of skills. Harry, very much a high flyer, an acrobat, very skillful and very hard to stop when he gets a full head of steam. And then, of course, Def Lordicus, his unique style and offense, so unpredictable, so versatile that you never know what he's going to pull out of the bag. And, of course, when they work together to land that massive skyscraper elbow drop, you can call it a night. As most people have found out, more specifically the Blood Brothers, who, of course, have been working for Blake Austin for weeks now, but Blake not happy with their results, clearly, and that's exactly why they were not chosen for a 3rd tag team title opportunity in a row. Tag in, and in comes Def Lordicus for the first time. Technically, I guess, the powerhouse of the team. Not exactly a powerhouse type of fighter, but does have that type of adversity and skill set to be that kind of thing. And what's he thinking here? Oh, look at this! Right as I was saying he wasn't the powerhouse of the team, King of Swing straight off the tag. Making a mockery here of the Vikings of Destiny. And to be fair to the Vikings of Destiny, imagine that. They go away, then all of a sudden they come back, and this is the team that they're met with. That would definitely weird you out. Of course, they've never seen Harry and Def Lordicus in the ring, and look at that. the strength from Noah. And of course, there's not a very easy team to deal with, as many people found out that F Ninjas so weird and unique. I guess that's how I'm just going to keep describing them. The most unique tag team in WIW. They've become more and more hard to stop as time goes on. However, the Vikings of Destiny, we know, very strong, very powerful, and of course they have the beheading, which has put away some of the best superstars. Of course, we know they have those vicious knee strikes as well that could bust open any man at any given time. And the Vikings of Destiny, the one thing they do have is brotherhood. They have that very classic brotherhood, always with 3-quint tags, always with great tag team offense. But of course, we know that on any given day, one of them would be all it takes to wrap up the other. And now, look at that, Def Lordicus was trying to tag back in Harry, who definitely had control when he was in, but Def Lordicus hasn't had such success trying to stop the quick tags. And that's how you beat the Vikings of Destiny. You've got to keep one of them in there to wear that guy down and keep in control of the match, because as soon as they keep making those 3-quint tags and they keep themselves relatively fresh, that's when you're going to struggle. That's when you're going to start to feel the effects and the damage that they can truly bring to the table, and we've seen it numerous occasions. And now once again we might see it again. Oh, there's a drop off the top turnbuckle. And Loki and Noah had so much promise when they came into this division. Of course, I believe they were tag team champions in the trial era, but they haven't been able to translate that into wins here since the beginning. Of course, Resurrection, they faced for the tag team titles. They were unable to capture the tag team titles. Lost the rematch as well. The Vikings of Destiny not had the most successful time against the Wolfpac. And tonight they would like to change that path and capture a shot at the tag team titles and try and take him from them before sudden death. That could be a fantastic one for it. Oh, look at that. Was thinking split-legged moonsault, but very well caught there by Loki. And Harry calling for the tag, but Loki now dragging him away from the corner, preventing a tag from being made. And maybe sensing that Def Lordicus has struggled against the two of them, just trying to keep him in the match now, pulling a similar tactic. And with the team of Harry and Def Lordicus, how do you beat them? Well, as the Blood Brothers proved, the best way to beat them is to outpower them. They may be quite strong themselves, deceptively strong indeed. However, they can be beaten with enough force. They have enough heart to kick out of a lot of things, but they have enough if you can put enough force on them and enough damage done just like that, they are beatable, as Def Lordicus is busted open with a massive big boot to the jaw as Noah gets tagged in. And this is exactly what the Vikings of Destiny want. They've singled out Def Lordicus and they're making him pay, and Def Lordicus not really with an answer to any of it except to try and make the tag, and he does finally. In comes Harry. Oh, and look at that, sidesteps the drop kick, massive strike, and you see the impact on that strike. Harry was shaken up by that one. And now Harry sent out the ring. Well, the Vikings of Destiny in control here. Will the Def Ninjas be able to pull it back and get themselves tag team title opportunities? Or will the Vikings of Destiny get one more shot at the tag team titles? We'll have to find out after this quick commercial break. Dormus, the new fragrance by Dormus. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs, and you've joined us back at a very good time as a standing moonsault comes in from Harry Austin on Loki. And we are here back in this #1 contendership tag team matchup between the Vikings of Destiny and the Def Ninjas. Def Ninjas ready to wrap this one up already. Look at this. And I don't know where this came from, because I was about to say the Vikings of Destiny have been in complete control, but now all of a sudden Harry and Def Lordicus ready to put him away with the skyscraper elbow drop. And is that going to be enough to keep down the Vikings of Destiny? Noah kicks out. Noah helps Loki get out of it. And like I say, I don't know where that came from, because during the break it's just been more and more control from the Vikings of Destiny. They haven't lost their grip on the match, but now they might be starting to do so. but continuing to outpower Defloricus, who is clearly in some discomfort, clearly in a lot of pain, and now might feel the effect as the nut tag once again comes in. Oh, look at that atomic drop. Oh, and a big boot as well. And now Noah. Noah ready to put him away as well. What's Noah thinking? Up on the shoulders. Look at this. Look at him drive him down onto the mat. And look at the blood on Defloricus' face. Into the cover. Is Harry going to make the save? He does. I'm not sure how wise that is, though. Look at the state of his partner. I'm not sure he wants to be saved at this point. He continues to fight back, though. He's still in this match. Somehow. And now Defloricus playing to the crowd. Is that the wisest of moves? I don't know. But a beautiful scoop-up slam. And a follow-through with an elbow drop. And straight into the cover he goes. Just trying to get this one if he can. His partner's not there, though. Harry taken out by Loki, I believe I saw. And now look at this. Big clothesline by Defloricus. Trying to spark some fight back for the Def Ninjas. He's clearly not in the best of states. I don't know. I don't know who the Wolfpac would prefer in this match. Of course, the Wolfpac have the history against the Vikings of Destiny, and they know the Vikings of Destiny can beat them. But however, on multiple occasions, the Vikings of Destiny have lost to them for the tag team titles. As for the Def Ninjas, they've never faced them before, and a lot of people, you know, think they're the easier task. However, King Sam in the past has said that he would love to go up against Defloricus. So maybe, in honor of Sam, they would have preferred to go up against the Def Ninjas. Well, I guess either way, they'll find out tonight who they're going up against. Defloricus once again trying to set up for the split-legged moonsault. He might finally get it. He does! Split-legged moonsault. Big connection there. And tags in Harry after sensing he's taken quite enough of that. And Harry, doing what he does best, goes straight to the turnbuckles and flies in with a senton. And now he's going to use his speed. This is what I was talking about. If you let Harry get his momentum, that's when he's dangerous. The youngest of the Austin family will participate in the Royal Rumble as well as his tag team partner. Of course, they won't come in at the same time, but they will be participating. Big implications. Could you imagine if Harry wins or if Defloricus wins? Maybe they'd like to cash in on the tag team titles and try and face the tag team titles in the main event of Insomnia. Or maybe potentially they might just use it as everyone else would to go for the world titles. But they might not find out because Harry, in a bad way, looking for a tombstone. Oh my god, Harry's countered it! Harry countered it into a tombstone of his own! Not quite as impactful as I'm sure Loki would have done it, but Harry just hits the tombstone, turns the tide, and now Harry might have an opening to turn the tide. Big knee to the face, and that's not what you want to do against the Viking. Oh, wait a minute. Harry, oh, Harry's caught him. Looking for the 619. Can he do it? 619 by Harry. Fly through. Big splash. And Harry might have just done it. Harry might have just stole this. Is that going to be enough to put away Loki? No! Loki kicks out in his own accord, and I think Noah knew that, and that's why he didn't tag himself, decided not to get himself involved. Back in comes Defloricus off the tag, and now look at this. Oh, a beautiful double tag team there between the two. Oh, and trying to make the tag out wisely does, and in comes Noah. And now Noah, oh, they both missed the clothesline there. They went for identical clotheslines. Oh, but Noah back to his feet first. And Defloricus clearly not in a good way, not in a good state. And this could be worrying because we're coming to the big matches now. We've almost got, you know, sudden death coming up. And he's participating in the Rumble, but he's also got a tag team title opportunity if he can survive tonight. Oh, then he's managed to dodge the knee there. Noah was thinking the big knee, unable to connect. And now Defloricus gonna make him pay for all of that. Looking for a suicide dive. Or, yes, what do I mean? A superplex is what I meant! Superplex from the top rope for added impact. And look at that, just shaken off by Noah. Clearly that move is not as effective as most of the tag team division seems to think it is. And look at Harry trying to save his partner here, crushing Noah into the table. And this has been a tough tag team encounter, and you've only got to look at Defloricus to see how much of a gruesome fight this has been. Now Harry trying to keep his partner alive here, just trying to make life a little easier for him, create some separation. And Harry just rubbing his face here on the apron. Harry just playing safety here, just trying to hold him for long enough to save his partner. Oh, crashes him into the turnbuckle. Count is rising, and They might want to think about getting back in the ring here. If this ends in a double count out, no one's going to win a tag team title opportunity. Def Lordicus getting hyped up here, gets himself back into the ring. Oh, and Harry busts him open on the turnbuckle, and the Def Ninjas win! Well, Harry and Def Lordicus kept him out for a count of 10, and busting him open on the turnbuckle pad, or not on the turnbuckle pad, the turnbuckle ring post. Harry and Def Lordicus have a tag team title opportunity. What an amazing return it's been for the Def Ninjas. Harry and Def Lordicus. Not in the most conventional of ways, but they did the job. They beat the Vikings of Destiny. And now next week, they are going to face the Wolfpac for the Fight Night Tag Team Championships. Well, I cannot believe it. I don't think anyone saw that happening when this match was announced. But Loki and Noah have been dethroned by the most unique tag team in all of WIW. So now not only do they have Rumble spots, but they've also got tag team title opportunities. The question is though, will they be able to cash in on them? Can they carry this momentum and become the new Fight Night Tag Team Champions? We'll have to find out soon. But it's time to move on now the rest of the card. What a match from the Def Ninjas. Next up tonight, the second Royal Rumble qualifier tonight for the 9th spot. Not in the Rumble, but the 9th spot of the Fight Night participants. And this is a match. It's pretty much a response to last week. And that is David and Steve. Of course, last week was in a triple threat, first blood match, elimination style. And of course, David and Steve lost, and that's why Alex Wilson will face for the World Heavyweight Championship at Sudden Death. And tonight, the general manager announced, since these two want Royal Rumble spots, they're going to have to compete for it against each other. The general manager forcing these three, or these two as it is now, to compete against each other. Remember though, Steven is allowed, under the Freebird rule, to participate as the tag team champions. So next week, David and Steve will be defending the tag team championships for the Wolfpac against the Def Ninjas of all teams. And I'm sure these two will be thinking about that one, because that's going to be the important one. But tonight, they get a chance to go to the Royal Rumble. And of course, if King Sam doesn't return in time for Insomnia, one of these three are going to have to fill in his job, fulfill his legacy, and carry the Wolfpac to Insomnia to complete what has been a fantastic year for the Wolfpac. So far this year, the Wolfpac have held the World Heavyweight Championship, the WIW Championship, the Fight Night Tag Team Championships, and the Television Championship. They've held it all. This last year, the Wolfpac era have been the kings of Fight Night, but their domain is crumbling as the hands of the general manager and Max Danger, and of course with the assistance as well of the Blood Brothers. The general manager has built a force to try and take down the Wolfpac, but in typical Wolfpac fashion, they're refusing to back down. And the general manager has made it clear he's trying to tear them apart, and he's making them compete against each other here for another opportunity. But the Wolfpac, they are all best friends. David and Steve have been best friends. They're two of the originals, of course. These two both gave up World Championship opportunities in order to pursue a tag team together. But tonight, the general manager has taken that option away from them, and tonight they must work against each other for the spot in the championship matchup. David and Steve, what can they bring to the table? And yes, of course, they're going to shake hands, showing their strength, showing it's Wolfpac for life, trying to tell the manager it's not going to happen this way. Bell rings, and away we go. And these two making it clear, no remorse. No, they're making it clear that, no, this isn't personal, is what I was meant to say. Of course, they're doing it because the general manager is forcing them into it. And last time Steve and David had to compete, they weren't exactly on the best of terms. Of course, last time these two faced one-on-one, they actually had a falling out, and it was to try and clear the air and try and sort things out for them. It was arranged by King Sam, and on the winner was actually David. Of course, the powerhouse of the team, able to get the job done. Hooks the legs here off the Michinoku driver, just trying to wrap it up easily for a 1 count. And of course, David and Steve will not want to hurt each other too badly, because next week they've got to work together to get the job done. They've got to next week defend their tag team titles, even though they weren't supposed to big spear there by Steve. They weren't supposed to defend their tag team titles next week. They're now going to, under the orders of the general manager, or he will force them to relinquish it. What a catch there. Tilt-a-whirl, sidewalk slam. Very nicely done there by Steve. Of course, Steve recently went after the television championship after returning from injury. Was unable to capture the television championship due to the interference of Max Danger, who ended the match via disqualification. Steve walked out with the win, but unfortunately for him, that wasn't enough to get the championship due to championship advantage. And now Steve powering himself back to his feet if he can, looking for a belly-to-belly. Well stopped there by David, doing whatever it takes to get the job done. And the handshake at the beginning says they know that they're not going to hold back, but they're making sure it's nothing personal. Steve rolls through. Super kick! And his head ricocheted off the middle rope. Did you see that? And now Steve lining up for the pedigree. Steve lining up to finish this one off if he can. Pedigree! Steve with the pedigree. Steve drags him to the middle of the ring. And is that going to be enough for Steve to advance to the Royal Rumble? Is that going to be enough to put down David? Funny enough, I didn't think so. 2 count. And these Wolfpac versus Wolfpac matches as of late, I'm sure the general manager would have, I'm sure King Sam would have not liked to have seen it. But in all honesty, they've been fantastic. Of course, what do you expect from Wolfpac members? Although, you know, think of them what you will, whether you're with them or against them. They are some of the top athletes and superstars that we've ever had in both WYW and WIW. They've won it all. Trial era, they won the tag team titles. Trial era, they won the world title. And then, of course, in the... oh, look at this. Hang on a minute. Oh, a massive DDT by David hanging off that top turnbuckle. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. He's ready to put this one away. Oh, package pile driver onto the knee. And can he follow through with another one here? David and Steve, it's been back and forth. But, oh, look at that. He saw the package pile driver coming. Gets it away. And did you see the smile between the two there? Saying, well done. He knew that was coming. But now David in trouble. Oh, and he's busted him open there on the super kick. Caught too cleanly with the kick. But David and Steve, their friendship has to be put aside for tonight. The general manager knew that they were going to go hammer and tongue and that they both put on the fight of a lifetime. Look at Steve, look at the fly. Oh, beautiful. Tope suicida. Beautiful work there from Steve over the top rope. The chance of this is awesome from the crowd. Rising through, David and Steve know that they had to put on an amazing show, and the general manager made it clear that they had to do that. And of course, the Wolfpac never failed to deliver for their fans. But of course, remember, this is important because it doesn't matter who wins. There's a Wolfpac representee at the Royal Rumble match, and that's going to be important. The Wolfpac constantly hell-bent on making history. So could you imagine them not participating in one of the most historic matches so far? Oh my god, David. Look at David. David, look at the fly. Elbow drop to the outside. And that forces the ref to reset the count. And these guys really going for it here. Not holding back for a second. And this is exactly what the general manager wanted them to do, in an attempt to try and stop them from being able to compete and defend their titles next week. But they made it clear at the beginning. They knew they weren't going to hold back. But at the same time, they were going to be proud of whoever walked out the winner here tonight. Steve brings him back into the ring at the count of 7. And he's going to go straight into the cover off of it. Is that going to be enough to put away David? And this is the problem. They may be friends, but there's too much pride on the line. Neither one of them just want to lay down and let the other one just advance through. They both want this opportunity. This is a huge opportunity. They can't afford to just give it away for free, especially when they know the general manager has made it clear they will not get another one. And of course, I'm sure the blood was not the intention, but that's what's happened. And David always seems to be the victim of blood, to be honest. Doesn't exactly have a brick jaw, more of a glass jaw, to be fair. Into the cover. Did you see Steven's eyes then? That was creepy as hell. Still manages to kick out at 2. Oh my god, Steven's eyes. Jesus Christ, that is creepy. I don't know why it's been doing that lately, but still. Big shot to the back. Well, Steve rolls out of harm's way before he can advance further. Oh, but it might be too little too late. Looking for the package pile driver. Package pile driver. to Steve, and into the cover. It's a rope break, and I could have thought David saw that. He didn't. David and Steve survives, and Steve now rolls through for the third time in the exact same position. So his head ricochets off the turnbuckle. Super kick. And Steve once again continuing the mounty offense. I think Steve has this one in the bag. David is not in great shape, but still fighting back. But I've got to think that David doesn't have much left to give. That head has been targeted so much. Steven clearly came in here with a strategy and he stuck to it. Oh, went for the pedigree. Well caught by David. And now David, single leg Boston Crab, just trying to use his strength to maybe make him tap the powerhouse of the team. Trying to do whatever it takes to get the job done. Steve's had this in for a long time here, but Steve's found a way to power out of it. Back to his feet after missing the pedigree. These two have put on an incredible match so far, and we still don't know who's going to walk out the winner here. Steve just trying to force him onto the turnbuckle. David resists, and a chop block to the back of the leg. And now look at this, big strike by David. Oh, and he's sent over the top rope. And now Steve, takes him to the outside. And these two, no strangers to competing against each other. And the matches between the two have got better and better over the years. And now look at Steve, what's he thinking? Oh, Steve, what a beautiful springboard moonsault. What a match this has been. Someone would think this was for the World Championship. The way these two are going at it. And yet all this is for is a Royal Rumble spot. And of course there'll be the only Wolfpac entry into the Royal Rumble, with David and Steve competing against each other for the one spot. And Alex, of course, going to face for the World Heavyweight Championship at sudden death. And now look at this. Package pile driver again. Oh, and he doesn't do a full one. But now he's going to do the full one, trying to make sure his partner didn't counter the first one. Clearly sensing he's softened up here. He's got him, surely here. Package pile driver again. To the top of the skull. Has David done it despite the blood? Has he pulled off the win? David is going to the Royal Rumble. And every time these two have faced, it's gone the same way. And both times in a bloody state as well. David has secured the win, and David is going to the Royal Rumble match. What a huge victory here tonight, and what was an incredible performance from both men. Neither of them gave down. They put on a show for the crowd. And in the end, David gets the job done. David does it for the Wolfpac here tonight. Steve down. And they both had to fight for it. And look at the state of them. But again, they shook hands at the beginning. And I'm sure they'll shake hands backstage as David becomes the only Wolfpac member to go to the Royal Rumble match at the pay-per-view. But tonight, they had to work against each other, but next week they're going to have to work with each other to capture the tag team titles, and it's been nothing but blood for the Wolfpac as they've been forced to fight each other for weeks now. But will they be able to outdo the general manager and once again retain the titles? It's time to move on to tonight's main event. Tonight's main event then, a champion versus champion match to close off what has been, quite frankly, an incredible show tonight. Fully enjoyed it from start to finish, as I do every night. This is the best job in the world. I absolutely love doing this, and you guys, I'm sure, love watching it just as much as I do. Tonight we close off with the new television champion in ring action. He'll be going one-on-one with Max Danger tonight, and I guess you can call this his coronation match, the first appearance as champion for J.W. Cashman, and a huge victory it would be tonight because he's going up against the World Heavyweight Champion. But this man, of course, pinned Willie of Hale in the triple threat match to capture the television championship and took it away from Big Willie right as he was about to hit 200 days. Remember, of course, Big Willie's reign was 198 days long, and he defended it week in and week out pretty much, with exception of a couple of weeks. But for this man right here, J.W. Cashman, he doesn't care about history because he's about to make some of his own. He said we're about to enter the Cashman era here, and now he's got the TV title. He's proven he means business. the runner-up, the most popular fan favourite of the Road to Glory tournament, along with Alex Wilson, who both have walked out with titles, funny enough. But for David and Steve, tonight, they had to face for the Royal Rumble spot. And Max Danger, I'm sure, enjoyed watching that, as he's been trying to be the sole survivor of the Wolfpac, trying to exceed his father's legacy by becoming a dominant world heavyweight champion. And so far, he's proven just that. He defended it at Lockdown, but at Danger Zone, he let his family down. In a pay-per-view dedicated to his family, he was eliminated first. And it was by Alex Wilson as well, so it's quite fitting that Alex Wilson will be the man to face him for the World Heavyweight Championship at the Sudden Death pay-per-view. It's going to need to be a bit more improvement from Max Danger. He's defended the title valiantly in the past. He's defended it at Lockdown against 5 other men. He's defended it against Peter Bolton. But at Lockdown, no, I was going to say that. But at Sudden Death, it's going to be his toughest challenge yet. He's yet to defend against a Wolfpac member. And he'll have to do that to continue his legacy that he is intending to build. Max Danger, the world champion. Will he be able to get the job done here? He's still a very, very young man. One of the youngest men to hold the title, Max Danger. And of course, I'm sure his dad, Chris Danger, watching on from wherever he is. And I'm sure, do you know who else I'm pretty sure is watching on? Big Willie and Alex Wilson. 2 very angry men who hate both the men in this ring. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see those two find their way into this match at some point. But still, I'm sure without any interruptions, it's going to be one hell of a matchup. Max Danger has been pretty dominant in the ring since capturing the championship. And of course, managed to capture the championship at Hellfire, where he cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase on the World Heavyweight Champion at the time, King Sam, who lost the title after being beaten down not only by Aaron Albright in the match, but also Blake Austin, the general manager, who screwed him out of his championship, the WIW Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship in the same night. It must have been the worst night of Sam's life, and of course, hasn't been seen since. He hasn't been on social media. He's been a complete ghost. We have not seen him in so long. God knows where he is and whether or not he'll make a return. Of course, I'm sure he'll be proud of what the boys have achieved in the meantime. They recaptured the tag team titles despite being screwed over at Mind Games. They've gone on now to earn themselves a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity, because Max Danger will defend at the pay-per-view of Sudden Death. He will get the job done, or will he? We'll have to find out. Max Danger, I'm sure, will do everything in his power to retain. The last thing he's going to want to do is lose the championship to the Wolfpac. And I'm sure he'll do everything in his power to avoid that. As for Cashman, he has his own worries to worry about, because he's got a very angry 6 foot, well, over 6 foot monster coming at him. Oh, but look at this! Max Danger's got worries of his own. He hasn't even seen it yet. He hasn't even seen. Wilson takes him from behind and ends the match in disqualification. And these two just screaming at each other in the ring. No surprise. And now Max Danger and Alex Wilson battling in the ring, trading shots. Oh, wait a minute, look at this! Big Willie! Big Willie's out here! Big Willie's come out here! Oh, it knocks out the champion! Oh, and look at this, Cashman sees him, and I think this was really what Big Willie came down in for. Headbutt! Oh, look at Wilson! Wilson! Looking for the bitter end! And now look at Big Willie! Running powerbomb by Big Willie! Well, the contenders knocking out the champions, and look at Wilson. He's loving the sight of this. He's done what he's set to do. And now Big Willie looking to finish him off with another one. Oh, wait, no. Cashman rolls through. Cashman rolls through. He got rid of him. He didn't want that to happen. No more power bombs for him. And look at this now. Cashman dealing with him. And look at this. Oh, wait. Wilson's helping. Wilson is helping. Wilson's helping him out. Helping out Big Willie. Boom. Bitter end again. And listen to the crowd go nuts. Alex Wilson and Big Willie have just taken out both the WIW Heavyweight Champion and the Television Champion. And look at this. They shake hands, a sign of respect between the two. A huge ending to tonight's show, which has been truly incredible. And Big Willie and Alex Wilson send a message to the champions that they are coming for their titles. But the question is, will Big Willie be able to get it back? Will Alex Wilson finally capture the World Heavyweight Championship? Or will it go neither of their way and the champions both successfully retain? We'll have to find out soon. But that is going to wrap up tonight's show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like if you did. Comment your thoughts and feelings on tonight's show. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.